islands we call home have a rich and varied history stretching back thousands of years. But hidden below the surface,
look at that,
are some amazing treasures just waiting to be found.
Wow. Look at me, I'm shaking.
So each year across the country, archaeologists dig, dive and explore their way down, searching for fresh discoveries.
It's something quite magical about digging down through this dark soil and then suddenly there's a gleam of gold.
Uncovering traces of ancient lives.
It's amazing, isn't it? This is nothing like this anywhere else in Europe.
It still moves.
Yeah.
And finding fascinating objects.
I've never seen anything quite that profound.
As every dig provides a new piece of the puzzle, new details of Britain's forgotten past. This is the epic and unfolding story of our islands. In this episode, I'm exploring the east of England, looking at this area's most fascinating digs. An Anglo-Saxon cemetery gives up its secrets.
Wow, she's got so many objects buried with her. Oh, look at that one.
That's amazing, isn't it?
With some of the most extraordinary grave goods we've ever seen on Digging for Britain. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Isn't this the best Anglo-Saxon sword you've ever seen?
I've never seen anything like that.
Deep in the Thames, a team of divers explore a unique shipwreck.
It's as important as a Mary Rose.
In a race against time before it's washed away.
It's the most high-risk wreck we have in our waters.
And a curious find on one of the largest excavations in the country astounds the experts.
Guys, fresh! I have never seen one so fresh. It's like it left the mint yesterday.
But first, we're heading to rural Kent, 10 miles south of Canterbury. So, what do I know about this site? Well, it's got the archaeologists really, really excited because here they believe we have the potential to shine a light on the Dark Ages, to do some modern archaeology, use the latest scientific techniques we have at our disposal and get to the bottom of a mystery. After the Roman era in Britain, it seems that Kent reverted to being an independent kingdom in the early medieval period. We don't have much written evidence from this period, so archaeology is extremely important. This year, archaeologists from the University of Central Lancashire have a unique opportunity to find out more about the people of early medieval Kent, as they start the first thorough investigation of this cemetery, filming every astonishing discovery they make.
So it's tricky and the bit that makes you nervous.
Oh, amazing.
And there we go. One early Anglo-Saxon spear. It's really nice. We are really pleased to have that. I think it's fantastic.
Oh, it's coming.
There we go. There you go, there's a knife.
It's incredible. It's the first time I've seen something like this. It's amazing.
Yeah, that's nice, isn't it?
Wow.
We've got the handle on tape.
Brilliant.
Welcome.
Duncan Sayer is leading the dig. He's fascinated by this period of history.
Hi Alice, how are you?
Hi, how are you?
Good to see you again. I'm good, yes.
You've been hunting Anglo-Saxons again?
We've been hunting Anglo-Saxons again, and we've found some, which is fantastic.
Yeah.
Really good.
And you've got some grave goods, have you? I can see there's something there in the middle of that one.
Yeah, so that burial there has a knife in the middle of it. As far as we know, because they're common in both male and female graves,
Yeah.
they're tools. They're not
Everyone
used
had
as
a
weapons.
knife?
Everyone had a knife, even children sometimes have knives. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And I think there's a point where a child passes a rite of passage and they get their knife. And it's used for everything, it's sort of interacting with the world, isn't it? Whittling, cutting wool or string, eating, cutting food, preparing animals, all that sort of stuff.
So what we're seeing there is something that somebody would have had about their person as an everyday item.
Exactly, so it's their dress. It's what they're wearing every day, and that's what they're being buried with.
Other graves contain larger items, and only a few metres away, site supervisor Gemma Sweeney thinks she's identified a very characteristic find. Gemma.
Hi.
Hi. Duncan has instructed me to come over here, but he said you had a Sax.
Yep.
And that's it.
Yeah, this is Sax, yeah.
A Sax is a specific type of small sword. It may even have given the Saxons their name. So the Sax itself, is that iron?
Yeah, it's iron, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. And then you've got a copper alloy buckle.
Yeah.
So you're almost ready to lift that then?
Yeah, so now I'm going to lift it, which is very tricky and very fragile.
Wonderful. Yeah. Well done. Very expertly done. As well as the Sax, this burial contains an iron spear point. And has every grave had some grave goods in it?
Yeah, every burial we've found, it has had some kind of weapon in.
So there's a bit of variety.
Yeah, every grave is different, yeah.
Each grave provides more evidence of this culture and tells us something about the identity of these individuals. The largest burial on the site is a female grave.
A really, really big one.
That's huge.
It's absolutely massive, isn't it? I think the chamber says a lot about this person because it's absolutely massive.
What's under?
It's a bucket. It's part of a type of vessels that are made of wood and then bound with this copper alloy.
Yeah. These buckets are well known from Anglo-Saxon burials, with the earliest found in Kent.
And this is beautiful because we've still got the wood just around.
Bits of wood here?
Yep, all of that wood is still intact.
Oh wow, that's fantastic.
2 or 3 a cemetery, so often associated with people with some substantial wealth.
Wow, she's got so many objects buried with her.
She's magnificent.
I can see beads. There's glass
we've got-
beads here.
Yeah, all these sort of blue and red glass beads.
Oh, look at
all
that
around.
one.
That's amazing, isn't it? With the sort of yellow and the green and the blue and the red all the way through.
Aren't they
Huge, great big
gorgeous?
thing.
So there's a beautiful little brooch there.
Yep, so we've got a cruciform brooch. And then down here,
Goodness. What's
we have,
that?
so this is part of a pair of wrist clasps. There's another one here, which you can see really clearly.
And they're
So
gilded.
we've got gilded, these circular objects, a sort of ring and dot decoration around them, and then gilt, and they're both in the same pattern. So it looks like they've deliberately gilded the outside
Yeah,
and the interior.
they are beautiful.
Aren't they fantastic?
Absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh my
So
goodness.
she's got loads of stuff.
So this is the most richly furnished grave that you've got this year.
It is, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It is. And this is probably one of the earliest graves we've got on the site.
So when you say early, what kind of date are we talking about here then, Duncan?
Probably late 5th century.
And this has always been such a big question. You know, what happened in what became England in the 5th and 6th centuries?
Yeah.
It's been a bit of a black hole as far as history is concerned.
It's often called the Dark Ages.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. We're really getting close to these people, aren't we? This cemetery keeps on producing spectacular finds. And conservator Dana Goodburn-Brown and archaeologist Andrew Richardson have the star find from the site so far. And I'm just about to get a look. Hello. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Andrew, hello.
Hello,
Dana,
hello.
Hello.
Nice to finally show you this.
Isn't this the best Anglo-Saxon sword you've ever seen?
I've never seen anything like that. That's so well preserved.
It
oh
is.
my goodness.
It is.
I mean, you've got everything there, the hilt and everything. Isn't that beautiful? What have we got here? Is that gold?
This is silver, but it's gilded.
silver, yeah.
So you've got silver pommel, and the wonderful thing about it is it's got this ring.
Isn't that
You
gorgeous?
see on the pommel, so it's known as a ring sword.
What's that for? Because it doesn't look like you'd be able to get anything through
It hasn't got a practical function. It's not for tying your wrist to the sword or anything like that. It's not strong enough.
Yeah.
We think that it symbolises some sort of bond or oath between the sword bearer and somebody like a king or a lord,
Really?
or possibly an oath to a god or something like that. So it's a very high status object. Whoever was carrying this and was buried with this was somebody pretty important.
Yeah, yeah.
And when I get the chance to work on it, you'll see it's got really fine tool marks through here. It's been punched with little triangular punches and filled with probably yellow. Zigzag line in the middle.
Oh, wow. So you're going to do some work on this and bring out all of these details.
Yes.
Alongside this incredibly well-preserved sword, the same burial contained yet another extraordinary object.
We found one more thing in the grave. We presume this is the grave of a man. It's a weapon burial, but we also found this in the grave.
Oh, wow.
Which is a gold bracteate.
Isn't it beautiful?
And the workmanship, even this simple beaded wire, and imagine that the wires, there's not machines to make that, so you're hammering out gold thin, and then like a paper straw, twisting it maybe, and then hammering the little beaded design in. It's just like amazing.
It's incredible, isn't it? What a beautiful thing. And what have we got here? Is it a dragon?
It's a serpent. These bracteates are definitely associated with Scandinavian, Anglo-Saxon paganism, possibly the cult of Odin or Woden. These probably symbolise mythological scenes from that religion.
Yeah. What does bracteate mean?
It's basically a sort of pendant, and it's usually worn as a series of them strung on a necklace by very high status women.
Right.
So it's really unusual to find it in a burial with a sword. There's no other female dress accessories in the grave. This person was not dressed as a woman. They're buried as a man, and I think this might be a keepsake from a female relative or ancestor.
We'll return to these spectacular finds later in the programme as Dana applies modern technology to understand more about the techniques that went into making them, and we'll learn more about this incredible culture. Our next dig is in the town of Leiston, 25 miles northeast of Ipswich. Here on the Suffolk coast, a team from Oxford Cotswold Archaeology is excavating in advance of construction work at the new Sizewell C nuclear power station. Joe Carruth will lead the post-excavation analysis.
We've identified some really quite significant archaeology relating to settlement and occupation that we had no idea was here.
And after 9 months of excavation, the team make a very strange discovery.
All of a sudden, this big, very dark feature appeared underneath the digger bucket. When I took it out, I had never seen a piece of lead that big. It was very exciting. I came away actually shaking.
This mysterious lump of lead was buried in the ground nearly 1,000 years ago at the end of the early medieval period. The find is transported to the lab, where the lead is opened up, revealing hundreds of silver coins inside it.
Oh my goodness.
Oh.
That's the first time anyone's touched that.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Conservator Pieter Greaves is painstakingly excavating this hoard, one coin at a time. and they appear to be very well preserved, so it should be possible to identify and date them.
So what we're doing here is making sure that we know, when we take the coins out, exactly where in this hoard they've come from. So what we're doing is we're just laying down a little number, so every coin gets a number. We take a photo, and then we take the coin out so that we know exactly where it came from. And then we can move on to the next one. So that sort of sequence will help us build up a picture of how the coins came in to the hoard.
Thank you very much. And there's your next.
Coin specialist Alexander Bliss eagerly inspects them.
The earliest coins that we can see thus far are from around sort of 1036, and we have also coins of Edward the Confessor in there from about 1042 to 1044. A really interesting period in England's history.
This careful analysis in the lab is just the first step in trying to understand why this hoard of coins might have been hidden in the first place.
Hoards go into the ground for a number of reasons across history. We can theorise, we can look at the historical context.
I'd say that's the mystery of the story, isn't it? Like, you'll never know why someone put it there.
No.
But it's quite a lot of money to wrap up and put in a hole.
Alexander is also intrigued by just how perfect some of these coins appear.
Oh, it's fresh.
It is, it's a nice one. I knew you'd make that noise.
Blimey. I have never seen one so fresh. It's like it left the mint yesterday. Oh.
Which one? What is that one?
Absolutely crisp. That's another, I think that's another Harold. They're definitely a lot shinier now. Really lovely. It's just as struck.
A few weeks later, the lab work is complete, and now Alexander and Joe have brought some of the most interesting coins to show me.
These are very beautiful coins.
I know, they're beautiful, aren't they?
I mean, somebody was going to go back, weren't they? Presumably. I can safely bury that there and get back to it, and then they didn't.
Yes.
One assumes you don't bury it next to your house, that you've, as you say, you've got, this is the corner of these ditches on the third tree from the right or whatever.
Yeah.
And we think this is
but a
probably
landscape they would have been familiar with.
A landscape they're familiar with.
For whatever reason that might be, they never returned to reclaim their treasure.
Yeah, I mean, it is a treasure, isn't it?
It is.
How many coins were in it?
So in total there are 321 individual coins.
Yeah.
And the actual total sort of value of the hoard is 320 pence, because we have 319 full pennies and 2 cut halfpennies.
Now, £3 and 20 pence doesn't sound like a treasure, Alex.
Yeah, well, we do know that in the sort of late 10th and the sort of 11th century, the value of a cow is approximately 20 silver pennies. So using that metric.
Okay.
So using that metric, 320 pence, it's what, 16 cows, basically, if we use that as a metric.
That's actually a really useful way of looking at it. You can have something meaningful that you go, right, okay, that's actually, that is a lot of money.
It is. It's someone with means, someone with money, but not someone at the top of the chain.
Are there any particular ones that we can pick out that we can actually say we know the precise date of this? Or?
Yeah, absolutely. I think a really good coin to illustrate this is this coin here, which is a wonderful, wonderful example. So this is a penny, a dual cross type penny, struck in the name of Harthacnute.
When you say it's a dual cross?
It's a dual cross. So the name dual cross refers to the design on the reverse, which is sort of like a item of jewellery, like a pendant.
Yes, it does look like that,
sort of lovely lobed sort of petals on the sort of arms of the cross.
Yeah.
And that coin was minted in Exeter, so good Wessex mint.
How do you know? How do you know that it was minted in
Because
Exeter?
on all these coins, the name of the mint and the moneyer are present on their reverse faces. And that particular coin is struck by a moneyer named Eadmire. So it reads Eadmire on Exec, which is the mint signature for Exeter.
This ends up in Suffolk then, with coins that have come from all over the place. There's something interesting going on here in that late Anglo-Saxon period.
This is what we're looking for now, because we're sort of getting a picture. It's quite a well-to-do area, and we're thinking this might be a wealthy farmer or a freeman or something like that, aren't we?
Yeah.
So perhaps we, in one of these other areas, well, what we're hoping for is that we'll actually find a farmstead of the right date that we can start to look at.
How amazing! Yeah, that's brilliant. And then on the other side, we've got the king.
Exactly. We have the portrait of Arthur Kinnear, a sort of stylised portrait, facing right, and that piece will date, about 1036. So we can be so precise about some of these. One of the most important coins in the hoard, I think, and one of my favourites, I have to be honest, is this particular coin here. This coin is a jewel-crossed type penny struck the name of Harold I, and it's wonderful because it is the sole instance of a sort of 11th century street name on an Anglo-Saxon, sort of late Anglo-Saxon penny.
Oh, where's the street name?
So the coin reads, so the reverse reads, Eadwald on Estchep Lou. LU is the mint signature for London, and Estchep is Eastcheap.
It still exists?
Yeah, Eastcheap, London.
And at this point, is the value of the coin linked to actually the weight of the silver?
Exactly so, yes. This is they have an intrinsic value. They're made of good silver, very good silver, in fact.
Yeah. It's interesting because that means if you're hiding a hoard, whatever happens, you can melt that down. You can get the silver, it's still worth something. Yeah.
So the evidence suggests that this hoard went into the ground early in the reign of Edward the Confessor.
And this is quite a turbulent time, isn't it?
Yes, there is a degree of instability. The sea change in the country that happens in that year with Edward the Confessor returning to the throne is quite big.
And that's after a Danish takeover.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Edward's return to rule, return to kingship in 1042 marks that return to the rule of the House of Wessex. So there is instability. There are people connected with the previous Scandinavian affiliated regime who we know lose their money and their wealth and their property, some of them quite high up. And I think that's something that can percolate downwards. Unstable times, it's not the sole reason why people put money in the ground, but it can be a big player. Not knowing what's going to happen to you.
You're excited about this, aren't you?
I love it. I just love it, it is exciting. I mean, it's all about stories, isn't it?
It's about stories, but it's also about knowing that story for the first time.
Yeah, that's what's exciting, isn't it?
So this hoard has come along and said, there is a story here.
Yeah, it has. Yeah.
Throughout history, the fertile plains of Britain's east have been fought over. The region is littered with medieval castles. And even the odd Iron Age fort. Bearing witness to shifting patterns of power and land use. And every year, new insights emerge, adding to the picture. The latest discovery comes from the village of Norton, 40 miles south of Norwich. 2,000 years ago, this was the territory of the Iceni, a powerful British tribe. In 61 CE, the Queen of the Iceni, Boudica, led one of the most famous revolts in all of British history against the occupying Romans. Boudica's revolt destroyed several cities in Britain. The Romans eventually crushed the rebellion and tightened their control over Iceni territory. And over the next few centuries, we'd see the indelible mark of Roman culture on the landscape.
It's always nice to approach a site knowing that somewhere here there's a Roman villa, but in fact this is a villa site with a difference, because the archaeologists are not focusing on the house itself.
And that's because the main villa building is, we think, right underneath the more modern rectory. But a team from University College London are investigating the fields and gardens around the rectory, which once formed the wider villa estate. They want to find out what life was like for the earliest Romans living here, on the edge of Iceni territory. And they've already discovered an enormous bank and ditch that would have encircled the villa. Kevin MacDonald is leading the dig.
Hello,
Hello,
Alice.
hello.
Welcome.
Hello, hello.
Wonderful to have you here.
That's a big ditch.
It's a very big ditch.
Oh my goodness. This seems very unusual for a villa site, doesn't it? What did your LiDAR show up?
Well, I have it here. I can show you.
Where are we standing?
We are
Just locate
right
me.
around here.
Okay.
And here is the remnants of this really quite large rectilinear bank and ditch.
The LiDAR scan shows the extent of the defensive bank and ditch around the Roman villa, and it's revealed more features across 15 acres of the surrounding landscape.
And what are your big questions here? What do you want to solve?
We are here at the extreme southern limit of the territory of the Iceni. So this is a frontier area, and we want to understand the origins of the villa.
The team has opened up 9 trenches spread out across the landscape.
So we're digging a ditch over here. We're not entirely sure what it is, but you can see the sort of the different features. We haven't found anything interesting yet, but hopefully we will.
So what we found is probably an 18th century, 19th century tombstone.
What we doing?
We are finding the edge because we got it wrong.
There's no wrong in archaeology. There's only dig. Quite a few bones have come out of it. Lots of animal bones.
Here's the jaw.
Oh, lovely.
Archaeologist Murray Andrews has assembled some of the best finds to give me a glimpse of daily life at the villa.
So what does it tell us?
So, well, we get quite a lot from here, really.
That's lovely. What's that?
Oh, this is incredible. So this here, it's a very delicate thing. Do you want to hold it?
Yeah. Look at that. It's still moves.
Yeah. Well,
That's
initially.
amazing.
So this is a chain, obviously. We think this is maybe either for suspending a oil lamp or a cauldron or something of this ilk.
So there could have been a few of these.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Isn't it wonderful?
Yeah, it's incredible, isn't it? But something inside there anyway, which is giving us a kind of glimpse of, heat and light and sound that we just...
Sparkly, beautiful things.
Yeah, and this would have been a bright kind of brassy orange colour at the time. We don't get it now, it's all green. But this is a very visually impactful object.
Isn't that a lovely,
So it's fantastic.
lovely thing?
Yeah.
What's that?
This is fantastic.
Can I pick it up?
Yeah, you can.
Oh,
Quite
it's
careful with
okay.
it.
So that's heavy.
Yeah.
So I think that's a knife handle.
That is a knife
And I think it's actually got that's really unusual, isn't it?
Yeah.
You might often find the iron knife with its tang.
Yeah.
And the handle's gone completely.
Absolutely.
And here you've actually got the handle, which looks like bone.
Yeah, so the handle's made of bone.
Isn't that
And as you say,
lovely?
we don't have many of these things in this kind of condition. We mostly just get the surviving bit of either the blade or the handle.
Yes.
So to have the two together is very satisfying.
Yeah, it is really satisfying. That's really lovely.
Yeah.
Yeah, you are just kind of getting a glimpse of these people, aren't you? Just like little windows into their lives.
Yeah, and I mean, I think this object is a style one for thinking about people too.
Yeah.
It's a cup, it's
So
the
it's
base
the bottom of the cup.
Absolutely. Except if we turn it round,
Oh,
we've got some initials underneath.
isn't that fantastic?
Yeah, FN. Now, we don't know who FN is. Presumably, it's the person that owned the cup. Maybe it's the guy who owns the villa. And he's writing his name on it in the same way you might do, in the office space. We don't want you to use my cup. This is mine. Keep off it.
Get off.
It's the closest thing we've got, the immediate link with whoever was here in the past. They've written their initials on here.
Yeah. That's it. It's, it's things like that where, I'm holding this now, and to know that was somebody's personal cup.
Yeah.
I really love this. I mean, you've got such a great collection of finds here which show us what was going on in the estate all around this villa. A broad overview, and then you home in on just one individual, and you're just getting really close to the people.
It's quite special, isn't it?
It is special. Yeah, definitely. It's lovely.
The small finds paint a vivid picture of life at the villa, but there was one strange discovery here, which doesn't quite fit on the finds table.
So have you had any dateable material out of this ditch?
Yes, we have, and it's in the box in front of us.
In the heavy box?
Yes.
Okay, so we've got animal bones.
Yes, lots of animal bones.
And what species is that then, Kevin?
That is a horse.
Okay. And there's quite a lot of horse. Is it butchered animal remains?
No, it is in fact from an intact individual.
A whole horse?
A whole horse right at the entranceway to the villa. And here we have a photograph
oh, wow, look at that.
of the horse as it was excavated. And you can see it's very much posed. It's in a sort of running posture. This, you know, if horses die naturally, they are not in the ground like this.
This is very strange, isn't it? Because it's been deliberately placed in the ditch then. I mean, this is a horse burial.
Yes, it's a horse burial. It's a relatively large horse. We're looking at withers height of about 152 centimeters, which is at the large end of Roman horses. It's the sort of size class of Roman military horses.
So have you got a date on this?
Yes, we have an accelerator date on one of the teeth, which falls between 80 and 130 AD.
Okay.
So
definitely Roman.
And early Roman.
Yeah.
We're still within a period of living memory from the rebellion of Boudica, 60-61 AD. So we're looking at something which is probably starting, being built, maybe 20, 30 years maximum after the rebellion. And so Roman military-sized horse, quite early. There is a thought that if this villa is a kind of colony imposing itself on the landscape, it's tempting to think of this as being founded by some veteran who's receiving this land as a kind of gift, as someone who's a safe pair of hands who can effectively colonize this landscape which had previously been held by the Iceni. This is his pension. And then when his beloved horse dies, it goes at the entry point of the villa complex.
That is surely what we're looking at. We're looking at somebody's favourite horse. It's always interesting to think about how the landscape changes through time. Going back into the Roman period, there would have been similarities, certainly with today. Today it's peaceful and idyllic. What was it like back then? I think there was more of an edge to it. There's like huge defensive ditch around the villa. I think the owners were a little bit worried about people in the surrounding landscape.
Next, we return to that extraordinary Anglo-Saxon sword found in one of the early medieval graves in Kent. Conservator Dana Goodburn-Brown has brought the sword and her microscope to give me a closer look.
I want to come and see what you're looking at underneath the microscope there. This is the sword.
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't know where to even start. There's so many amazing things. This is like a dream for me, this work.
I mean, it's such fine craftsmanship, isn't it?
Absolutely. And my different tools here, I've got porcupine quills, toothpicks, because I need to tease out the soil, but not damage the organic material.
Yeah. So it's painstaking work.
It's really slow going, but the reward is like finding these exciting little glimpses into the past. So if we start at the top of the hilt here, look at these little tool marks. They are so tiny. You kind of need the microscope to appreciate them.
Yeah.
I like to think of
all these little triangles as well.
Yeah. I love to think about the craftsmen in the workshop when they made it.
Yeah. I mean, that level of detail.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah,
that
extraordinary.
craftsperson must have been so thrilled with their work.
The metalwork is mind-blowingly intricate and accomplished. But there are organic remains too, which add to the picture of this incredibly special, high-status sword.
We know that it's in its scabbard. So this is wood. And then really cool is the high-status ones are beaver fur.
What, on the inside of the scabbard?
Yeah. That stringy striation along there, I think that's beaver fur.
That's the fur. So it's the whole idea of when you're pulling a sword out, it makes this kind of metal noise. It wouldn't at all. It would be very silent coming out of the scabbard.
Under the microscope, there are more clues here. But they're not actually part of the sword or its scabbard.
I've also found fly pupa, which again is really cool to find. Okay, there's a fly pupa there. There.
Oh, yes.
You see there?
Yeah. Does that tell you that the body was lying in the grave for a certain amount of time?
Yeah. So that's the whole CSI thing about, and why people talk about maybe they were there for 5 days with their clothes on, enough time for a fly to land, lay an egg, and then to pupate.
Yeah.
And the sword
it means that the body isn't being placed in the grave and then immediately covered with soil.
No. They were out and people would say their goodbyes.
They were learning something about the funerary practice as well from this.
So it's slow going, but the rewards are huge.
Yeah.
The stories that can be told from what we're seeing. To think about the people that actually made it and to find little glimpses that tell me about their workshop or help me visualize it.
Yeah.
To me is really exciting.
It takes you back, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Duncan has also brought in some of the other finds, which have now been cleaned.
Duncan, you've had a chance to look at some of these objects in a bit more detail. So what can you tell about them now?
So we've got a range of things to show you and to talk about. And what's really nice about that is that they tell quite an interesting story.
Yeah.
So we've got a series of glass beads and stone beads as well.
Is that
So it's
rock
a crystal?
crystal?
It's a rock crystal bead.
Isn't that beautiful?
It's lovely, isn't it? This one is a really pretty buckle. And Dana's cleaned it up really nicely. You can see here we've got this sort of patterning, incredibly decorative object.
It's wonderful because we're only getting little glimpses of what they were wearing and obviously the durable materials remaining in the grave, but they obviously cared about how they looked.
I think they did, hugely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Many of the grave goods are objects which would have been made locally in Kent. But there are some more exotic items too.
So we've got another buckle here, which seemed to suggest we've got this sort of connection to France. Okay, this object is much more of a French character than other objects.
Yeah.
And that would make sense in Kent to have that connection across the channel. And over here, what we've got are the objects that were found in that really deep female grave.
Yeah, down the bottom.
These in particular, these wrist clasps here, are really quite special. And I've never seen another example of this in the UK at all.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely.
So they're unique to your site?
They're unique to the site, but almost certainly Scandinavian in character. And that's interesting, isn't it? That we've got that connection to France and a connection to the northern Europeans in those earlier ones. So in this deep grave with this Scandinavian character wrist clasps, we also find the small bucket. So we've got things that are far away and things that are much more local. If she is from the same place as those wrist clasps, then what's interesting is that she's bringing her way of doing things, but she's also interacting with people with their way of doing things. So we're seeing her coming along, not just as a foreigner, but as someone who's bringing ideas together and creating something very new.
I think we're looking at something really interesting here because we are looking at these crucial centuries after the breakup of the Western Roman Empire.
Yeah.
When we're seeing people on the move, we're seeing ideas on the move, objects on the move, but it's almost like people are trying to re-establish or invent their identity.
Absolutely.
Later, graveyards and cemeteries are a familiar feature in our landscapes. And there's a certain conformity of practice with burials in shrouds or wooden coffins clustered around churches marked with tombstones. But people in the more ancient past buried their dead in many different ways. One of the most unusual burials discovered this year came from a site just outside Peterborough. A team from Headland Archaeology unearthed an enormous stone sarcophagus. And it's filled with white gypsum, a naturally occurring mineral used to make plaster. This is a burial practice dating to the Roman period. The team transfer the stone coffin to the lab to carefully excavate the plaster in controlled conditions. The huge sarcophagus weighs more than 600 kilograms. It's more than 2 meters long, and its sides are nearly 10 centimeters thick. Conservator Morgan Creed from York Archaeology and osteologist Don Walker from Museum of London Archaeology are peeling back the layers of plaster inside the sarcophagus.
So we're micro-excavating to expose the bone and also to try and get the pieces of plaster out.
We don't exactly know why they used to pour this liquid into the coffins. However, I think in general the evidence we have got tells us that perhaps these were more wealthy individuals. I think we're quite lucky with the preservation of the bones, really. We can clearly make out the various elements of the individual, at least the main elements of the individual. We can see that the ends of the bones are fused on. That shows that the individual has stopped growing, the person has reached maturity, and they're an adult.
The bones contain clues to the identity of this individual, but there are other precious remains here too.
There's some really beautiful features. This one in particular has got some really, really lovely folds in it from the burial shroud. This one has actually got some textile still remaining in it. You can actually see sort of like the warp and weft on the textile impressions. Ancient fabrics. That's really exciting. We can do it.
The largest surviving fragment of plaster,
we've got it,
has partially preserved the shape of the body.
Nice. I'm actually really pleased that this has come out in one big fragment. You can see you've got the two perfect voids where the legs would have been. He had quite big legs, and there's some bone fragments still stuck in there, but so I've got it out in one piece. Yes.
There's much more analysis to be done once the contents of the stone sarcophagus have been excavated. But this wasn't an isolated burial. The huge sarcophagus was surrounded by a remarkable collection of other graves. Senior Finds Officer Sarah Machin has come to talk to me about this extraordinary cemetery and show me another fascinating burial from the site.
So this is the site. This is just a kind of sketch plan of what was going on the site.
And you've just got that single stone coffin.
Yes.
Yeah.
Interesting. Stone coffins are not that common at all. There's probably about 50 across Roman Britain.
So presumably that is about status.
That is the assumption, yes. There is something that singles them out from the rest of the community. Some sort of leader or dominant figure in that area that means that they have all that investment of time and money and effort to put them in the centre.
I mean, I'm looking at the orientation of those graves, and you know, some of them are east-west, some of them are north-south, and really the rule just seems to be about what they're next to.
Yes.
You know, they're just being fitted in, aren't they?
They've actually just framed round that one in the middle.
It is tempting, isn't it, to see that as a founding grave in the centre, and then actually for it to be a family burial ground.
We have 23 burials. We've got everything going on in a very small cemetery, and the blue ones are graves with finds, so there are a lot that have grave goods in them.
So tell me about this individual then. What do we know about this person?
She was within the enclosure of the cemetery, so within the plan alongside the stone coffin, and we're just at the initial stages. We know this is a young lady, looking late teens, early adulthood.
Yeah, so she's got her first and second molars fully erupted, and I can see the wisdom teeth there is just coming through at the back of her mouth there.
Yes.
So we've got finger rings here.
Yeah, so this is a silver ring. That's the signet off the front of the silver ring.
And lots of bracelets.
Lots and lots of bracelets.
Is that a bracelet as well?
Yes.
Isn't that beautiful?
That is absolutely beautiful.
And then some tiny little beads, which presumably were part of either bracelets or necklaces.
Yes, we have a couple of 100 beads, but I just got a few out, so I didn't have time to get them all out.
A couple of 100 beads.
So there's a couple of 100 beads from there. I mean, the earrings are silver. They are incredible. We think they're little trowels. They look like little archaeology trowels.
Can I pick that up?
You can, absolutely.
So that was also buried with her?
Yes. So that's a Lower Nene Valley colour-coated ware, a little beaker.
Yeah.
Which could have had a small drink or a bit of a libation or something like that.
That's a beautiful.
So you're looking at 3rd, 4th century date for that.
And this glassware, that looks like a little glass beaker.
It is a glass beaker. It is beautiful.
Isn't that absolutely lovely?
And that's one of 2 that was in her grave as well. So the glass vessels and the little beakers are perhaps a final toast at the interment, or sometimes if they went in later, it could be a commemoration event, an anniversary or something. People come and have a drink and leave the vessel behind.
So you've got this whole collection of jewellery and the little beaker and the glasses all buried at her feet.
Yes.
Yeah.
All of it together. So with the bracelets, you'd expect them to be maybe on the arms, the earrings up here, the rings by the fingers, but no, they were all at the bottom. And there is a theory, and it's only a theory, that this is a dowry. So she's a young female who didn't get married in her life, so they have put her dowry with her to take with her. To the next life, and that's why it was all bundled up together. There may have been some sort of fabric bag or some container that held it all together. There are so many questions we've got about this group of people.
It's a fascinating collection of burials.
It is remarkable.
Every year, archaeological sites across the east of Britain are at risk. Whether from coastal erosion or the farmer's plough. Archaeologists are often in a race against time to learn everything they can from sites before they disappear.
Our next story is about archaeology under threat, but it's also an extraordinary tale of dedication, persistence and perseverance, and the moment when that pays off.
We're heading to Southend-on-Sea and the mouth of the River Thames. Here, below the shifting tides of the Thames estuary, there are more than 770 known shipwrecks from all periods of history. But one of the most significant is a heavily armoured 17th century warship called the London, taking us back to the early modern period. The wreck has been preserved under layers of silt for hundreds of years. But today it's under threat from modern shipping traffic, dredging, tides and currents. As the silt in the estuary shifts, parts of the wooden ship become exposed, and they'll break up and rot away in a matter of weeks. For more than a decade, a team of volunteer divers has been recording and recovering precious artifacts from the London before the wreck is completely washed away. The lead diver is Steve Ellis.
I've been diving on the site of the London for 14 years. It's been down there hundreds of years, but it's really opening up. Stuff is being washed out of it. It's like a historic building what's on fire, and we're trying to get in there to rescue everything before it's being washed away.
The London was a 76-gun warship built in 1656 during the Commonwealth era. She became famous as one of 3 ships to bring King Charles II back to England to restore the monarchy in 1660. But tragedy struck only a few years later when the London blew up and sank in the Thames estuary, killing more than 300 people. Today, a new part of the wreck has emerged out of the silt, so the team suit up for another dive.
The Thames estuary is like, to me, it's unique. It's not really been explored much.
Steve has special permission from Historic England to dive the protected wreck site and learn what he can from what remains.
It's the most high-risk wreck we have in our waters.
The London is 2 miles offshore, so the team use a rib to reach it. Once their dive boat is in position and safely anchored, they're 18 metres above the wreck of the London.
No one dives the Thames. It's quite horrendous diving, to be honest with you. It's a challenging site.
The currents here are so strong, there's a risk the divers could get pulled out to sea.
You have to be connected to a line to the boat all the time, because if that line gets disconnected with the currents, you could end up miles away.
The estuary is full of churned up silt, so as the team descend, the visibility gets worse and worse.
When the visibility is really poor, you concentrate, you can study the wreck in more detail. In the winter months, I can actually feel my way around it, and I know exactly where I am.
The team are filming when Steve makes an incredible discovery.
It just started to appear out of the silt, and I thought it was a part of an old anchor. Then I felt the button, and I knew exactly what it was, you know. But yeah, it really was a wow moment.
He found one of the London's cannons. It's solid bronze and 2.5 meters long.
It's as important as a Mary Rose. It's a unique time capsule and a fantastic underwater puzzle to try to work out.
The dive team is also finding personal items from those on board when the London sank.
This is a unique wreck. It's special. That's what I like about diving the site. I'm just really privileged.
With another successful dive under his belt, Steve is keen to show me some of the most recent finds from the wreck of the London. And he's joined by Vittorio Ricchetti from Southend Museum. Steve, how many years is it now, this project?
I've been diving it with my team of divers for like 14 years.
Does it change every year then? Is the
dive,
sand shifting around?
Between every dive it changes.
Yeah.
Since the channel was dredged to make way for these big ships, the site is being washed away. So we're trying to save as much information as possible.
Steve, how many finds have been recovered so far?
Over 1,200.
1,200 finds, yeah. And this must represent a big conservation challenge because they've been preserved underwater all this time. Presumably as soon as they're brought into the air, then you have to worry about them degrading pretty quickly.
Yes, they become immediately very fragile if they dry up too quickly, as we say in water.
Can I handle this one?
Absolutely. These are linstocks.
What's a linstock?
A wooden linstock is a slow match. It's basically a match for cannons.
And this hole at the end, is that for a wick? What goes in there?
Yes, a slow burning.
Yeah. So that's used to light the cannon.
Yes, as you would see in film.
So you've got all these cannon on board, and then you've got a storeroom with the powder for the cannon.
Yes, indeed.
So it is a dangerous setup. You have to be very, very careful about that.
Very careful.
And then what's this curious object?
These are the top of a wooden lantern.
Top of a wooden lantern. Okay, so I can see a hole at the top here, and I can see that there would have been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 holes here.
Little wooden staves, what went to the base.
Presumably that would have had glass around it.
No, not in this period. No, just wooden battens with a naked candle inside.
So there was a naked flame in the middle of that lantern.
What's really intriguing, got little scorch marks. Got scorch marks here. Is this possibly one of the reasons the London blew up?
Oh my goodness.
See,
yeah.
for me...
So this hole here, that is actually the hole at the top of the lantern to let the hot air out. But this has been scorched all the way, and it's been burned actually.
Yes.
So this is completely burned through, this is burned through. I mean, looking at this, you've got something where there's evidence of actually a naked flame burning through the top of it.
Yeah.
And you're talking about a ship where there was an accident where it exploded.
Yep. That was found down in the hold of a ship.
And then on board you've got this store of gunpowder.
And the experts think that an accident in the powder room is probable cause of the incident. We can't say for certain, but it's
tragic accident.
Tragic, absolutely.
Yeah.
And this, I think, really is that kind of object that tells you how heartbreaking this tragedy is.
You've got a thimble, and is that a button?
And a button, yes.
They're lovely.
And we know that on board of the ship, there were also family members, wives, partners, kids.
Really?
Yes, because the...
Why were there family members on board a warship?
It was the moment where the ship was to take off. It was the last moments where you were allowed to say goodbye to your loved ones and your family members. This makes the story even more tragic, really.
Yeah. No, it is an even deeper tragedy. In some ways, it would be great to leave most of the archaeology down there now, because it's preserved, but actually it's under threat at this moment in time.
I believe everything should be left in situ if possible.
Yeah.
But sadly, from what we've seen with London, it's not the case.
When are you going down next?
End of next week.
Are you?
Yeah.
You can't wait, can you?
No, I can't wait. I can't.
Next time on Digging for Britain. In Kettering, archaeologists are amazed to discover an enormous Roman villa complex.
What you're saying is that this trench is just opening up a window onto a tenth of it?
Yes.
The windswept Cambridgeshire claylands yield up their Iron Age secrets.
We're looking at pioneers heading out into the wilderness.
Really? And in Oxfordshire, we travel back 165 million years to find Britain's most fearsome dinosaur.
What's it eating?
Whatever it liked.
Yeah, that is the answer, isn't it?